We've got some kids to adjust for here. We put our children in for have 1, 2, 3 years before the second child, so we now have twice the health care, or not the health care, but the daycare. So the first child is now in its fourth year, fifth year, sixth year. That's probably the end of daycare, so we can adjust this down a little bit to account for them going back to school. And then the rest of this, I'm going to leave at 18,000. So how long is this second child going to be around? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I know I've gone off the screen. If you look at this, I'm going to drag this out until they're 18. And you know what? I'm going to drag it out till they're 19 just because. That's a little cushion there. So we're doing okay there. We've got, we looked at our cash flow numbers here, and we looked to cash flow. This is our cash flow line, and we're okay here. Okay. Oh, we're starting to get okay, pretty good here. We got 16,000 in our checking account. We've got $8,000 coming in beyond what we're spending. Sounds like we're going on vacation, really, but let's put it in here without a vacation. Let's start thinking about what the next thing would be. So the next thing would be we don't have any college funds for the kids yet. We have an additional $8,000 in income. So instead of taking vacation, let's do the prudent thing and do college. I'm going to go back here and say this glasses column that I'm covering with household expenses. I'm going to put that as a college fund for the kids. Obviously, we like education. So that's this row 35. Where I'm going to get the money for that is this bill is going to end. So I'm going to take this $3,900 that I used to pay in this bill, and instead of increasing my spending, I'm going to save it and put $4,000 into the kids' college fund. And the kids' college fund is going to continue at $4,000 out of my amount until I go all the way until I'm going to run that all the way out till they're at least a year past school. A little extra cushion in there too. In addition to that, what else do we have? We've got our cash flow here, 4,000, 4,000, 13,000. So we've gotten rid of some bills here. We've gotten rid of the daycare bill. So we've got a little extra cash flow. We've got lots of cash flow built up here. So we're going to do a couple other things. So the next thing after education, we might want to put more money into our 401k, but let's say we've maxed this out for the match. Once the matching amount is in, we can save without their poor choices in their investments. So we're going to start our own. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back here and see if there's no publications in any of this. So I'm going to get rid of the publications. That was one of my previous bills. You could always just add a line here if you wanted to. And I'm going to put in Roth IRA, and I'm going to start funding a Roth IRA. That's after-tax money. And this Roth IRA is in this line, and I'm going to start spending or funding it when my cash flow gets positive. And we're looking for cash flow again. I don't want to get lost here. Here's cash flow. So cash flow is right here. We got an extra amount of cash flow here. We've got $20,000 in cushion. So I'm going to start putting money into the 401k, and I think I'm going to put in $5,000 a piece into the 401k. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to put $10,000 into that 401k. So that $10,000, that's $5,000 a piece into the 401k is going to cut down on our cash flow, but we still have some money in our checking account. But that's pretty good. So I'm going to take that out and see if I can continue that for a ways. I'm going to just take it out to where the kids graduate college. We've got kids in college here for a few years. So we're going to take that out. And how's our cash flow now? So we've got 4,000, 3,000, 3,000, 12,000. So now we're still starting to see lots of cash flow. Now at this point we've got some issues to come up with regard to we still haven't been on vacation, and we're now 38 years old, so maybe we want to start taking a few vacations. We might want to get into a house. We might get into other things. But right now, we've got very positive cash flow. We're going to leave that cash flow there and say we might want to start spending some of it. Certainly the kids want to do more things. They're getting older. So let's leave that alone for now. But what we do need to do is we now have these two things up here. the college and the IRA, that are money coming out of expenses that needs to be turned into our net worth. So how we do that is we go in here to our assets, because we're building value in this, and we just highlight two lines, and we right click and we insert. Now these two lines are inserted in here, and the formula that we use to collect our net worth should include them. So if I click down here and click on our net worth, you see how it still includes them. It stretches the box and includes them. So they are included. You can always check that and make sure that they are included. And the first one, of course, is college savings, and the second one is Roth IRA. Whoops, IRA. And now we need to fund them. So college savings here. What am I going to fund up here? This $4,000. So the $4,000 in column M goes with college savings here. So that's this cell here. So this cell equals the $4,000 that we put into it. And then this $4,000 is going to grow, right? So this $4,000 the next year is going to equal, this cell times 1 plus the rate of return. The rate of return is going to be the same as our 401k. We're going to say it's this cell, and we end parentheses there, and then plus the next $4,000. So that's going to be added on, and then that'll compound next year. So we hit enter there, and that seems right? So it's 4,000 plus 4,000 plus interest of 320. Now the only thing you got to remember here is we want dollar signs in front of the interest rate, because we don't want the interest rate to move. And we hit enter, and now I should move this over, and it should be 12,000 and some additional interest if I did it correctly. 12,000 additional interest. Okay, so that's right. So I've got that good, and I can take that all the way across. And I've got that until we get to the end of college, which is 165. So we saved $165,000 for our college fund. That is somewhat helpful to the kids. In addition to that, our Roth IRA is here. And our Roth IRA starts here, so that's this line. And so this line is going to be equal to this, enter. And then this is very similar, so we should be able to just drag it down, and let's see if that's correct. Let's get out of this. And so this line is 057, which is this cell here, plus 1 plus the interest rate. The interest rate is the return on the 401k is 8%, which is true, and plus P36, which is the next cell over. So all of that's correct. So just by dragging it down, once we set that up, that worked. We didn't have to set up another formula, and then we can drag this one across. And this one is going to drag all the way across, because we're not going to get rid of this anytime soon. We're going to go up until, I just drag it up to 75, but we can drag it all the way out. We can drag it all the way out. In addition, if you ever wanted to put another row in here with your age, you can do that too, because sometimes it's hard to see everything as you're scrolling around. So we've got our 401k savings there. We just put a bunch of money into it. That's good. So we've done a couple things here that are really good for us. We've added college savings in a Roth IRA. That came from our checking account, and that is a withdraw here. Now this number here should, this number that is the total liabilities should include all these numbers. So it does. It does include all those numbers. If we click on it, you can see that all these numbers are included in our liabilities. So that includes both both numbers, 14,000 here, to take that out of our checking account. So what's left over is 12,000 this year, 16, 20, 24. We're doing pretty good here. You can see how you've got good jobs. The jobs are moving up pretty well, and you're moving along pretty well too. So all of this sounds really good. So far, Everything's good. We've saved a whole bunch of money for the kids' education. We have $165,000 there. I'm going to assume that money's all gone. So that's completely gone. The other thing that happens here is our checking and savings account. Let's just take our checking account. We've been keep piling this money in here, and you see how it gets higher and higher and higher. There's a point in there where you're going to want to do something about that. I'm not going to show you how to do it here. Buy a house, you're going to buy other cars, you're going to spend some money back there and change that around. But I'm just going to let it go. And to shortcut the situation. Obviously, more money here is fine. The other thing that happens is we need to get and this is when the end of the kids' bills come. So we need to get to this situation where we're at retirement. Retirement, we have $144,000 worth of bills, which is $144,000 negative. So $144,000 negative right here has to come out of this $3.5 million in our checking account, which clearly we're going to have to modify. And then we have $1 million in our 401k and a total of 1.4. This is 1.4 in the 401k. The Roth has plenty of money in it too. It's got 1.1. So we have this is the house, right? So the house is up there, 1.4. We got a bunch of money in our checking account, which would be in an investment account. So we get plenty of money to take that out of, but we need to come up with this number subtracting from our net worth. So there's a couple ways of doing that. With this checking account, it's easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another column in here, and I'm going to call this net of checking. And this number is going to equal this number plus this number. Enter. So this number just basically takes this money out of our checking account. So you can see I have $3.5 million in a checking account. I take out 144 out, I got 3.4. Now it's not going to be out of your checking account. We know it's going to be probably in some sort of investment account. But this checking account gives you a little cushion in what you're doing. And we're going to take this across because we don't want to run out of money. And so we're going to take this all the way across until we do run out of money. When do we run out of money? Well, our bills keep getting bigger, and when we get to 87, we run out of money in our checking account. So this cell doesn't work anymore, and we have to start spending some of this money. Now, if you really were doing your plan properly, you would go back here, and you know at 71, you have to take money out of your 401k. So your 401k balance is, I believe it's 57, is that correct? No, that's your Roth. Your 401k is 59, okay? So 59, and we go back here till we're 71 and a half, which is here, and we have to take money out of this account for sure to cover our, because of the rules, we have to take 10% of it out. So what I'm going to do, instead of, in this cell, instead of taking it, subtracting it out of checking, I'm going to subtract it out of the 401k. So in this case, it's no longer going to be AX49. It's going to be AX, what is it, 61? Oops, no, 49 is correct. What's wrong is 54 is going to be 61. Enter. So now this number that we are reducing, this number of 1.4 million, I'm sorry, is going to be pulled down by 185,000 or 150,000, and you can see that that is what's going on here. This number minus that number, or plus a negative is minus. And so we're going to take that across until we run out of our, wait, 151. What happened to our 401k? Oh, our 401k stopped. What happened here? This is AR61 times 1 point something 59. Oh, I know what happened. It was going up. AR9. Where's AR9? AR9. Oh, it was going up at 4% because it was going up slowly. I see. I see. Okay. So let's go back here to our 401k. Our 401k is here. Oh, did I take that out of our house? Oh, that was a mistake. Okay, let's fix this. This is a good lesson. So what I did here that was a big mistake was I took it out of the house instead of the 401k because I wasn't really paying attention. So let's go back here to where I was, right here. And I believe this number was taken out of the house and it should have came out of the 401k. So what we're going to do is just drag this up and hit enter. And now this 151,000 came out of this 185. So that is the reduction in this. And this number is bigger because of that, but it's also lower because of this. So you have to add that to it. So it's AW5 minus, or actually, since it's a negative number, we're going to do plus this amount. Whoops, no, it was this amount. Enter. So this number actually goes down. It still has interest on it, but it goes down. This number gets reflected in this number. So the net of the checking account, which not really is the net of the checking account, the net of this account is now less. So this can go away. And this is the number that's fallen. I think I lost you. I'm going to do the next video on this and clear it up for you because I think I lost you.